What are we looking at? John Gihon joins us, the former ICE attorney. John, that could change the equation a lot, huh?
Absolutely, Neil. Thanks for having me back on. The optics right now at the border are pretty bad for getting any sort of comprehensive immigration reform done. There are multiple bills that have passed the House again this term that would give lawful status to people who are already in the country. The problem is that we see from the media is reporting about everything that's going on right now at the southern border between the unaccompanied minors and kids being put into cage-like facilities, in addition to the great influx of people who are coming to the southern border. And that is just not a recipe for getting any sort of long-lasting immigration reform done. Is you can't have a leaky border on one side and have everybody in bipartisan support rallying to give status to people who are already here.
In the meantime, we're hearing of another potential caravan forming in Guatemala. A host of other countries are looking or reporting similar possibilities. So this notion that when President Biden was kind of urging folks to sort of slow down, stop this, you know, they're not. In fact, they're doubling the ante here.
Yes, Neil, that's unfortunately the case. President Biden can say all he wants. The problem is that people see success. They see that if you get into the United States and you're not from Mexico and you cross that southern border, you're probably going to be able to claim asylum. You're probably going to be able to have your chance to stay here in the United States. And so there's not really much of a deterrent effect right now going on at the southern border. People understand that this is the greatest country in the history of the world, and they want to be here, and they're going to keep coming here for as long as this is such a wonderful place to be, and we welcome them under our laws.
Now, a lot of these cases are adjudicated now on American soil. That is a switch from the Trump administration, where they tried to handle them on the Mexican side of the border. That's going to make it a little bit more problematic, because the story is that once their legal appointments are set, many of them have up and left. I don't know what the numbers are, but that is far more likely in the United States than it would be in Mexico.
Neil, you're correct that it's more likely that someone in the United States probably isn't going to appear for immigration court than if they are in Mexico and they know the only way they're going to get into the United States is to come to court. However, a lot of the media reporting that people come to the United States, claim asylum, and never show up in court, it's not nearly as big of an issue as a lot of the media may portray it to be. We see all the time that people come into the United States and they know the only way that I'm going to be able to stay here legally, the only way I'm ever going to get a green card is if I come to court, I claim asylum, and I win my case. And they know they have to go to court to win their case. There's no other way.
What is
disappearing into the country?
No, I'm glad you said that, John. So what is the percentage of people faced with that? And you're quite right. It would seem to make sense on paper. Let me see if I can win this one legally, make an argument that I've been harassed in my country or threatened in my country, or conditions are just awful in my country. What percent of those win those cases and get to stay?
Well, it depends on what country you're coming from. I'll tell you that under our current asylum laws, a lot changed under President Trump so that domestic violence-based cases, gang violence-based cases from Mexico and from Central America are overwhelmingly being denied here in the United States. However, if you're coming from the Horn of Africa or from Bangladesh or from Venezuela and you're crossing the border and claiming asylum, you have a very good chance of being successful because of the fact that those countries are really horrible and political persecution is going on there on a regular basis.
John, thank you. I learned a lot talking to you. I appreciate that. John Gihon, the former ICE attorney, as we look at these throngs that are developing.